Hello. Good morning. Cheers. It is December 1st. For work. I have fully Christmased the house. I was looking for whimsy any way possible this year. So the long weekend was a perfect time, the Thanksgiving weekend, to do so. We have the tree. We have some orange decor hanging. We have everything set up. We are ready to go, and there is like a whole foot of snow outside. We had a massive storm come through, so it is a winter wonderland out there, and I am ready for it, but also scared to walk because it's very icy. Oops. So let's talk November books, and I also want to talk a little about like November things I enjoyed, media, life, etc. Let's just dive right in. So the first book I read in November was In the Company of Witches by Arlie Wallace. Arlie? I don't know. I listened to this, but this was a reread. So I physically read a copy of it last year. It is a cozy little mystery, small town murder, family of witches. It deals with grief. It deals with family and love and witchery, but like in the coziest sense. So I listened to it this year. I have the sequel, When the Crow's Away, on my pile over there to read this cozy season still. I think I missed my opportunity. I think it's more of a fall book, but whatever. So I wrote down that it feels kind of like the witch family. It's two aunts and their daughter and an uncle that's a recluse that doesn't leave. And it feels kind of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is wonderful. I've also heard it called like a crossover with like Gilmore Girls, like those kind of vibes. So had a great time. I'm excited to read the second one. I gave it 4 stars the first time. I just kept that this time. And that was In the Company of Witches. Next, I read Stoner by John Williams. This was a book club book for Books and Mortar. It follows William Stoner from basically his birth to his death in the early 1900s. I think he was born, like the 19-teens, 10s-ish. He is a very passive character. This is a quiet book where it just follows his life as a farmer into academia. He didn't go to war. He like didn't sign up for the war, and he stayed at college, and he found his love of reading when he went to school. He was expected to be a farmer. He went to school for farming, and then he was like, oh, I liked this literature class. And then he pursues a life of academia, and he gets married to a woman who really would have benefited from therapy and medication. They call her basically hysterical a lot. I think she was severely anxious and depressed. So Stoner is a very passive character. He lets things happen to him, and that's kind of frustrating as a reader. I find it, the thing is, I disliked this book. I had a rough time with it, partly because of his passivity, but also just like I relate to that. A lot of his decisions, like letting his wife meddle with his relationship with his daughter, it was really frustrating to watch him not do anything about it, but also relatable. Like, he didn't want to make anyone's life any worse, and he was trying his best. So like, I don't know. It was a toughie. I really struggled with the women portrayal in here. They're either hysterical, lustful, or alcoholic. I'm really glad I went to book club on this one. It was because like it was 50-50. People love this book because it is slow and lyrical. And yes, the writing is fantastic. I can't deny. There are some really lovely lines in here. But overall, I struggled with wanting to continue just because of the frustration of the main character. I gave it 2 stars. But know that a lot of people love this. Like, love it. But also people hate it. I wasn't the only one. But yeah, Stoner. Next, I am so happy to talk about this book. I read 11/22/63 by Stephen King. She thick. Ooh, she big. This is my first Stephen King in a while. I love Stephen King. I know he can be problematic. I know his earlier stuff is a little rough sometimes. But this one follows our main character, Jake Epping. He is shown a portal, a door, something into the past, to this exact day in 1958. He is shown it by a friend who is dying, and this friend, his goal was to get into this past world. It's set in like 2011, I think, so present day. His friend wanted to go into the past, ride out the next 5 years from 1958 to 1963 to save JFK from assassination. It was in his mind, that would just right so many wrongs in the world. There wouldn't be Vietnam, like just this waterfall of good would come out of saving JFK. It is such a good escape. I love Stephen King. This felt like all of the hits, all of my favorite pieces of Stephen King's writing. It's very focused in music. Stephen King loves to reference music and lyrics and kind of keep them as like a heartbeat of a story. Definitely the case here. He even has like a playlist in the back. It was such a nice escape when I was grieving Pork Chop. I needed escapism, and this was wonderful. It was everything I love about Stephen King. It's not perfect. I gave this 5 stars, but I can admit it's not perfect. I think there was, around page 600, there was a plot point that I didn't think was necessary, because it's 900 pages long. And I got a little lost with historical names. There's a lot about learning about Lee Harvey Oswald and all of his compatriots and his past in Russia. And I kind of glazed over at times with that stuff. But overall, really loved this. This is going to be a book club book for Celerbird Books in like a week or two for me. And I'm really excited to talk about it. And I had such a good time. And I'm very thankful for this book to keep me going in like kind of a dark patch for me personally. So I recommend this one. Okay, highs to lows. The next book I finished was Flashlight by Susan Choi. This was a Booker long list book. I listened to it on audio. This one was rough, guys. It's long. It was like an 18-hour listen. It follows 3 family members, mom, dad, and a daughter. I learned some things about history I didn't know, which I appreciate in a book. The dad is Korean born. His family fled to Japan when he was a baby, to the point where he didn't know he was Korean until like a preteen or something. And when he is a teenager, his family decide to go back to Korea, but he thinks it's a really bad idea. So he stays in Japan. It turns out they went back to North Korea and then got very much locked down into that society. And they were basically unreachable. Cut to the dad character, this son. He comes to America. He marries a woman who was, I'm not going to get into the details. He marries a woman. They have a daughter. This story follows all those 3 characters. And it is non-linear. It jumps around. It's an interesting story. The dad goes missing when their family goes to Japan after he's a professor and to do some things for work. And then one day on the beach, him and his daughter are like walking along, and he goes missing, assumed dead, drowned. And that's how it starts. And then it backtracks and gives us all the history, like the childhoods of the parents and all of these things. And then it follows the daughter dealing with all of this. And I just struggled because none of the characters are likable. This is a common theme for me. I need to be able to like somebody. And they were all pretty miserable. Granted, they were dealt pretty miserable hands in life. But the daughter is terrible. The husband is mean and doesn't share anything. And the wife is wheelchair bound in her older age. And I struggled with this one. I should have not finished it. I should have given up. It was an 18-hour listen. By the end, I was listening to 2.2 speed just to get it over with. I'm very 50-50 on the Booker nominees, on the Booker books. This one was not for me, unfortunately. But that's okay, because it's for somebody, because it ended up on the Booker shortlist. Long list. So that was Flashlight. I gave it 2 stars. Oops. Next, I read Canon by Paige Lewis. This is an advanced copy. My friend who owns Celerbird Books went to a conference, a book conference, something. She was here. She was there, and she was giving out copies of her book for booksellers. So I had actually asked Leah, who owns the bookstore, to pre-order this for me. And so she was handed it for free and signed. Wow, it's so cute. A non-binary epic is what it's called. Paige signed it. How cute. Leah knew I was really excited about this and gave me her copy. Paige Lewis is the partner with Kaba Akbar. So I heard John Green and Kaba talk about this book at their author talk. So I was like pumped about it. They were like, it's nothing I've ever read before. It's insane. It's wonderful. I thought it was kind of mid, unfortunately. I struggled. There's a lot of characters in a very unique world, and I just felt like we didn't have enough time with any of them. Every chapter is so, it is, a thick book, but should be a quick read. And I just wanted more time with these characters. There's like 2 main plot points. There's a big battle coming up. This is a very religious world. In the beginning, God finds Yara, a non-binary human, and says, you have to go beat the big bad Dominic and the bad guys. Yes, his army is called the bad guys. And then it also follows Adrena, who is a prophet of God, and God has gone kind of silent in Adrena's head, and she wants to prove herself as like worthy, and she decides to go to this big battle and try to help them win. I thought it was so interesting. Like, the world was so strange. Like, the bad guys were like popping wheelies on their chariots, and she goes to the mall. Adrena goes to the mall to find a soundtrack for the battle. She has to go to like a CD store, like a music store. But also the mall is treacherous because the kiosk people are like sirens and will like draw you in and never let you go. So interesting, but just like very brief with everything. I wanted more. The whole thing, I just wanted more. I'm glad I read it. It felt on the verge of YA to me. I'm not sure why, but I was left a little lacking. I gave it 3 stars. I'm super glad I read it. I'm so excited that I got an advanced copy because I was so pumped about it. But unfortunately, it just like didn't quite live up to the hype for me. And finally, the last book I read and finished in November was Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. This is the 3rd Emily Wilde book I read. I read the first one with my book club, my friend book club, at like the summer, early summer I read it. I listened to this one. It's fun. It's a fine time. I've read all 3 of them now, which is saying something. I think it's like a lovely, whimsical world where this one is following Emily Wilde and her betrothed fairy king, Wendell. And Wendell, in the last book, had to defeat his evil stepmother. And in this book, the stepmother is gone, but she's somehow cursing his world, and they're trying to figure out how to fix it. It's like a fun, immersive time. I listened and I tuned out a lot. I literally don't know who one character is that was referenced so much. I like don't know where she came from or what she's doing there because I was a little absent. So I was a little absent. That's on me, but I still had a good time, and it was like a nice escape as well. I read all 3. I would recommend them. There's a lot of stuff going on in these books, and I think that's why I get a little lost. It's like adventure epic, where we have a lot to do and a lot to go get through. And especially I think in this last book of the series, we like revisited a lot of characters along the way. So there's like a lot of people, a lot of tasks to be done, a lot of brushes with fate, but it's a good time. And it should be noted, I don't know if I noted this in any of my previous reviews, but it is written from the point, it's like basically Emily's journal. So like every entry like starts with a date, and then Emily kind of goes through what happened. So like you always know she gets through it because she's like, oh, I don't even know where to begin. So let's start with this. And then she goes through the day that happened yesterday or whatever. So that's an interesting format too. That was nice. I gave it 3 stars. I would recommend the series. Yeah. So those were the 6 books I read in November. It was a tough month. 11/22/63 with its thickness took up a lot of it. I was still pretty sad about Pork Chop. It continued to be. It gets a little easier every day, but the brain wasn't focusing on reading all the time, which is expected. So this month I wanted to talk about some of the things that I love. So I was very much a homebody in November, grieving and whatnot. Just getting cozy, nesting or whatever. So here is the things that I loved in November. Starting with TV. She is really deep into the reality TV world. Oh my God. First of all, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is back and airing a current season. I could not be more grateful to have a new season of the show when I was at my saddest, lowest point, losing Pork, because those women are ridiculous, and I love them. I can't even, it is so good. That show is so good. Ugh. The fact that I love Mary Cosby now, and I absolutely hated her in the first season. Heather Gay is a little too investigative journalist at the moment. She's instigating fights that she doesn't need to be. Whitney, I kind of love Whitney. Simon hates Whitney, but I kind of love her. And Angie K. Is it K? I don't know. Angie. She is wonderful this season. Of the Below Decks episodes, Angie K. So good. The fact that she busted her finger to the point that it's in a splint for like 2 more episodes, but she was in an inflatable costume on this boat, and she's like crying, and there's like blood pouring out of her. Watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. On the same note, I whipped through Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 3. Much like season 2, this show is just sad. It makes me sad that these young women are indoctrinated into this religion that makes them have babies way too young and get married way too young, and wow, they're all having struggles in their relationships because they're babies having babies. And will Mom Talk survive this? I don't think so. I think Mom Talk needs to disband. But here we are. I cannot wait to watch the reunion. Oh, wow. Also, Australian Love Island is back and wonderful. Wow, the girls are mean girlin' this year. But there is some redemption. Oh, there is such a sweet redemption moment. So I love Australian Love Island. It's so good. So that's my reality show smut. I'm not going to say I'm ashamed. I'm enjoying it so much. But we also have been watching the It show, Welcome to Derry. It's pretty brutal. It is pretty gory and gruesome, and it just dives right in. It is cool to see some imagined backstory of it, though. Some more lore to go into there. And there's some, Stephen King universe characters that appear that you aren't expecting, like Dick Halloran. Wow, from The Shining, love it. So that's been my TV watching. For like some home things, I got some new bedding from this brand called Homey. I got some duvet covers, and we got new duvet inserts. Ooh, and it's so cozy and nice and lovely. I've been loving that. I've also been drinking a lot of Pops from Aldi. It's their version of Poppies. So it's little prebiotic sodas. Love it. You gotta find the small joys, right? Right. Some life things. We have, since losing Pork, we have kept his collar just on our coffee table. I'm like looking at it. And it's been really nice to just hold on to it when I'm feeling sad, or like I can't quite describe how like unfathomable it is that he's gone. I'm sure if you've ever lost somebody close to you, you kind of understand. It's not a unique feeling that I'm experiencing, but like I have lost a lot of family members and things over the years, but they're like cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents. I've been to so many funerals. My extended family is so large, but this is like the first loss that is so close to me. And it's just weird how unfathomable it is that he's not here anymore. And so it's been nice to just like hold on to his collar when I'm feeling especially sad, and like it jangles like it's his sounds. It's been really helpful. I can't talk about it more anymore because I don't want to cry before work. Okay, I've been doing that a lot. Walks are back, baby, I wrote down, but also there's like a foot of snow on the ground, so are they going to continue? I don't know. But I was getting good at doing my lunch walk again. Hopefully I can continue. It's just really icy out and I'm such a baby and I'm scared. I've also been doing really well with my back exercises, stretches every day. I continually am frustrated by it. It is the most annoying thing. I have 2 bulging discs in my back. I did a steroid injection at the end of October that is doing something, question mark? I don't know. But I continue to do my exercises and stretches, and I'm proud of myself for that. So, okay, and then my last little section was music. I probably should have kept that with like the TV and media things, but I've been listening to a lot of music this past month, which hasn't happened much in the year of 2025. So it's been lovely. So I've been listening a lot to the Tron Ares, I don't know, soundtrack. I'm gonna go see 9 Inch Nails in February. They're coming to Grand Rapids. And so I was like, oh, I gotta catch up. And the Tron soundtrack is so good. And I love it because I was also equally obsessed with the Daft Punk soundtrack for the first Tron. So that's been way fun. Also, I've been listening to a lot of Florence and the Machine's new album. My mom and I are going to go see her in Chicago in April. So, lovely. I also listened a lot to West End Girl by Lily Allen. Oh, baby. Am I in the drama? I am loving it. It's such a messy time, but like, I'm so proud of her for doing it. And I know she's not a perfect human. I know there's a lot of weird stuff in her past as well. But I've been really enjoying the Gossipy album. Robin's new song, Dopamine. That could not have come at a better time. It is so good. I hope she has an album. Right now it's only a song. There's been no talk of an album that I have heard. I hope so. AFI's new album hits hard for me. Wow. Ooh. I've also been listening to a lot of the Hives. The Hives have a new album called The Hives Forever, which I would love to see them this spring as well, but I don't know if I have any takers for that one, and I would have to travel, so I don't know. Also, I wrote this list before doing this, and I have to say that I absolutely devoured the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things. Cannot wait for the end of it in December, around Christmas and New Year's. I'm really annoyed that they did such a weird release. They should have just done weekly. I've really liked the weekly upload schedule for some of these shows that are highly anticipated, like Real Housewives. I've been enjoying watching that every week. I wish they had done that, but I am all here for the Stranger Things. It's awkward to watch David Harbour be terrible per usual after listening to Lily Allen's album, but such is life. So, okay, those were the things in November. It is exactly work time. She's got to go. She's got to sit at that computer, baby. I hope you are reading and watching and enjoying things lately and this month, and I hope December is lovely and warm and cozy. Try to embrace the shorter days. Find a way to make it cozy. That's how I'm surviving. So, yeah, thanks for being here. Have a good month. We'll see you at the end of December.